everyone to episode 6 of the Bingeverse. Before we get into the content and everything that we've been watching, Aunt Maya, how is your week's going? I know it's Thanksgiving coming up in a couple of days. Do you guys have any plans?
Eating.
Lots of that. And I'm excited to put up my Christmas tree. I'm a true, wait till Thanksgiving, then put up the Christmas tree. So
that's how my family does it too. It's like the day after Thanksgiving, we put it up.
I was supposed to have been have mine up, but then I looked at it and I was like, I don't feel like doing that right now.
Do you guys do real trees or artificial ones?
Artificial.
Artificial.
Yeah.
What do I do with a real tree? Like, what do I gain from that?
Authenticity of the holiday spirit and all that.
Ain't no holiday spirit, man. Gas is up, chicken up,
turkey $60. It's crazy times.
I saw a tweet earlier. It was very accurate. They were like, they didn't mark up everything. Literally everything is marked up right now. That the deals don't even make no sense. It's just regular price.
Exactly.
That's funny. Well, no, I'm excited for the holiday. I came back home a couple of days ago, so it's supposed to be cool to see all my family, have everyone in one place again. Finals week is around the corner, so I'm just putting all that aside for now until I actually need to focus in on it. So I'm excited. So there was a lot of news and trailers that came out in the past couple of weeks. Does anyone want to start with anything that they saw or that they're excited for?
Spider-Man No Way Home. We got a final trailer for that.
Yes, sir.
I'm so excited. I remember I put a poll on my Instagram. I'm like, do you think Toby and Andrew are going to show up in the trailer? Yes or no? Most people said yes. And then, of course, in our trailer, we had no. I mean, they didn't show them. But I still think that they're going to be in it. I mean that, I don't know if do you see like the, lizard getting punched in the face when you zoom in? So they clearly like took somebody out, like they edited someone out.
Before I saw that one, I knew it was messed up because I was like, Lizard is jumping like way too low.
It's also like Lizard doesn't fly. Like my friend was cracking me up. He was like, so Lizard just gonna fall to his death? Like you can't just be jumping in the air like that.
Literally, he jumped so low to him like you just failed. If there's one Spider-Man, you just missed.
And they're all looking straight. Like Tom Holland is like coming in the middle. And then they're all like in different lanes, like going forward. Like it's so obvious that they edited that shot.
I'll tell you what though, Sandman was about to rock that man's whole world. That fist couldn't do the thing. I was like, yeah, you about to take all of that.
Yeah, for sure. It's giving kind of Far From Home vibes with like Hydro Man. It looked a lot like that. I also think if we don't get Toby and Andrew, I feel like we could also get Miles. With the black Spider-Man that they keep showing.
They're definitely gonna have.
It doesn't have to be Tom.
They're definitely gonna have the other two, but I do hope they throw in Miles. Even if it's just like, I don't know, like they're watching TV and he like shows up on TV or something like that. I hope he's included it. I don't have to pull the race card. I'm excited. I'm ready to get my tickets on Monday.
Yeah, I was gonna say they come out next week, so you better be ready.
Yep, I'll be at the theater because last time trying to get my in-game tickets, I feel like this is gonna be like everyone's gonna get tickets at once since they announced it ahead of time. So the AMC's like site and app crashed for in-game. So like the only way people are getting tickets is actually going to the theater. So I'm just gonna be posted up at the theater to get mine.
I'm gonna trust in my internet service. And
I was gonna say internet service. That's the site, AMC.
iPad and
the budget's looking real slim for them too. So
yeah, I don't think I've ever bought a ticket at the box office for like a future showing. I didn't know you. I mean, I'm sure you could do it, but I've never done that before.
I won't do that because of in-game.
It's gonna be cold too. Plus, I'm not going. You going to Easton to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm not driving to Easton for that. That's the whole
thing. Where's your nearest one?
My nearest one is Hilliard, but I want to see it in Prime, so that's in Easton.
See, I like Dolby. Dolby's like the best screening for everything for me.
Like Prime.
I usually see Dolby then IMAX.
What did I see in Prime?
I like IMAX too.
I saw something in like September in Prime, and I was like, I'm never going back.
Yeah, Prime is just okay. They don't have like the cool sound. I don't know.
I saw Shang-Chi in Dolby. It was crazy.
Yes.
Shang-Chi, that's what I saw on Prime. That was the first movie I ever saw on Prime.
Oh.
Had the seats rumbling and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm never going back. I went back to the commoners.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
Cool.
The next thing that we have on the list is a movie called Marry Me. Did you all see the trailer for this one?
Yes.
Actually, I was going through like trying to find new trailers on some website, and I saw it. I was like, skip. I was like, I'm like,
you watch
it. And then I actually saw it come across on the timeline. It was on like the autoplay. So I was reading something else, and so it like autoplayed through like half the trailer, and then I was looking at it and I was like, this looks stupid. Let me watch it, and I was like, the concept is kind of interesting.
Yeah. At least it's new. You know, it's an original idea.
Yeah.
You see a lot in romance movies.
Over yesterday and today, I sat down and I watched all the trailers that you put on the list. I made the conscious effort to do it, and I took notes. And my note says, "This looks stupid." So,
that's why I didn't watch
it. My qualm with romance movies: make the guy attractive. I'm sorry, I can't really commit to Owen Wilson being the love interest. I just can't.
Yeah, he does not.
It'd be different if it was more attractive, but it does look kind of goofy though, because it's like, even though it's like more of a original plot, it's just like, it does kind of seem a little stupid.
Yeah, and I don't know. I was watching the trailer, and at one point, J-Lo goes, we both did this, so we got to stick it through. And I'm just kind of like, he actually didn't do anything. Like,
you really pointed him out in the crowd.
Right, you did this, so why is this on him? Exactly. So I'm gonna watch just because it'll probably be something like lighthearted. Do you know if it's only theaters or is it going on HBO Max? Or
I think a lot of things are going to go back to being theaters.
Really?
Because HBO Max just did kind of like the for this year thing for their movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wish they kept it though. It was fire.
Right? Being able to watch stuff from your couch was definitely a good thing that came out of 2020 because yeah.
All right, yeah. This is the next one is my personal favorite of mine. Psych 3. I don't know if you've ever seen Psych. It's one of my favorites.
Yes, it's my show.
I used to love that show.
Again, this is Gus. I found this randomly. I'm very happy I did. And I just realized I spelled it wrong, but whatever, remove. I'm excited about it. We get to focus on Gus. It's my favorite character. I can't wait.
Yeah, I almost forgot this was coming out. I remember seeing something a while back, like maybe an announcement or something. But this is very exciting. I love Gus.
Yeah, I used to watch Psych all the time. It used to be one of those things that I always would kind of tune into, but I think I fell off. I don't remember exactly when in the series I fell off, but it was early enough to know that I didn't know they were making movies. So now this is cool. It's good that they're doing that.
The next we have Don't Look Up. That is the I'm pretty sure it's Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
The massive movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Timothée Chalamet,
Ariana
Grande, Jonah Hill, Chris Evans, Lance Norris, Meryl Streep, Himesh Patel, Kate Blanchett, Matthew Perry, Kid Cudi, Tyler Perry, a whole bunch of people.
Somebody tweeted, "No wonder my Netflix subscription went up by $2. I'm gonna pay for that."
Right.
I thought the Beyonce upcharge was bad. That was
right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they stacked that cast.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
And I love Leo too, because I feel like now, since he's like so passionate about sustainability, it's like you can tell he's like going after roles that are like, focused on that. And it's cool to see. So I know he's gonna act his ass off in that. very excited.
I also thought it was funny, Ariana Grande being in it. She just plays the ditzy like character so well. Like I was watching the trailer and my dad was right there. He was just cracking up at her line. And I was like, she just plays the dumb character so well. So
Victorious. Oh my
God. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. She had to walk on Victoria so this movie could run. They got a movie called Encounter. I found that randomly. I'm not the biggest fan of space movies actually, but like aliens like that. But I'm kind of interested by this. So we'll see. I have low expectations.
It's on Prime.
I forget. I meant to put the thing next to each one. I'm gonna do that for next time.
I think it's gonna come out on Amazon Prime Video.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna feel too bad.
It's December 3rd.
So I'll be in bed, and if it's bad, I can just fall asleep.
Yeah.
Did y'all see the Netflix blockbuster series that they're about to make?
Yes, I did. I remember when that announcement came out.
A lot of people were like bagging on it. I'm kind of interested.
You say you are interested?
I'm very interested, especially with the actor. I forget his name, with the actor that they have playing it.
What's his name?
I'm trying to think of what he's in. I think he might have had a show on ABC.
Oh, the last blockbuster video store.
Yeah.
Randall Park.
Oh, Randall Park. Yeah, he was in WandaVision.
Yeah.
Oh, I love him.
So that's part of why I was so interested in it. So, yeah.
What is the premise of the show? I didn't really do too much research into it. I know it's supposed to be a comedy, but I just kept seeing the headline, but not so much the premise.
I think they just dropped it.
Oh, okay.
Or like, I think they just kind of announced he was going to be like the main character. So I don't know if.
I thought it was a documentary.
I think there's a documentary. I think this is actually a show.
Oh, okay, separate. Okay.
I think that there is a blockbuster documentary.
Okay. I thought I got it confused with.
Yeah, I just know they just know it's a comedy series, and then he's the main actor. So I guess that's it. That's all it's like to be known for now. But I'm looking forward to it. Learn what they do with it. It's gonna be funny. So sign me up. All right, what do we got next? How do you have Issa Rae rumored to be voicing Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse sequel?
Well, it's confirmed.
It's confirmed?
And yeah, Variety reported it. They reported it's usually right. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I just wish, animated. We've seen so many people come in and out of Marvel like roles, and it doesn't mean that they're only going to show up in there. But I would love to see her in a live action MCU film too.
Or if she swings in No Way Home.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. A multiverse. Multiverse.
I feel like if she was to do that, they had to bring in Molly too.
Molly, yeah.
Bring in the whole Insecure cast. Insecureverse.
Isn't the Spider-Verse sequel coming out? Is that next year?
I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I hope so.
I cannot wait.
I love that movie so much.
Yeah, October 7th, 2022. So next year.
Okay. Oh, it's supposed to be April. It got delayed. Boo.
All right. And then next on news and trailers, we had a massive Disney Plus day.
Huge.
We're not gonna go through the whole list because it's just literally too much. So let me see.
Overall, I was a little disappointed.
Disappointed.
Because like the year beforehand, it was Disney Investor Day, they made so many announcements. Like everything was net new. At least for the Marvel stuff, And even like the Disney stuff, a lot of it was, okay, already gave this to you last year, but now I'm going to give you a title card and the logo. So a lot of it was new, and some of them we got little first looks at. But I mean, I know it's not sustainable to keep them from continue to do these massive announcements. But the way that they were like, I got advertisements about Disney Plus Day. Like you're promoting this like this is about to be like a big deal, and it was a little anticlimactic.
Bamboozled you. I just lost the word. Impressed, I guess. I don't know. I got more stuff than I expected. With a bunch of shows. I knew they were making a Proud Friendly, but I like that. So, what do you got? What were your guys' favorites that you're looking forward to?
We can start with Proud Family since you brought it up. The animation looks fire. Like it looks like it's going to be done very well. And obviously we didn't see any of like the episode content, so we don't really know what it's about. But I guess my question is, how old is she supposed to be? Kind of what's the context behind it? Because it seems like everyone's a little bit older, but I can't tell if she's, home from college or if she's like in high school or something like that. I just can't tell the context.
I would love to see her in college.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. But I feel like it's going to be done very well. I'm definitely going to watch it because Proud Family was such a classic and I can't not watch it. But I don't know, from what they've showed in the trailer, I feel like they have a pretty good handle on what they're doing with it. So hopefully it's as good as it looks like it might be.
Yeah, I hope they can bring Solange and Destiny's Child back for the
theme
song. Right.
It wouldn't even be right for anyone else to do it. Like,
right. And I think they got most of the original cast. At least I know like the family unit, like Oscar, Trudy, Penny. But I wonder like Dejanay, Sticky, because Orlando Brown voiced him. I mean,
He's won that back. I think he's clean now.
He's clean now, but by the time when they actually recorded this and like produced the series,
he wasn't.
I'm wondering if he probably was. I don't know, but I'd be curious.
Yeah.
So what else? What else y'all looking forward to?
I'm really excited about Tiana too, just because I know there was so much. I wrote my like senior anthropology paper on that movie, and it's like the fact that she was a frog. I know there's like everyone was like so mad about that, and it's like so now we can just see her as a human, just thriving and like outside of. It looks like it's kind of outside of the context of Prince Naveen too. It's just like her and her entrepreneur journey. So I'm excited. I feel like they're giving her the respect that she needs. So I'm very excited for that.
Yeah. I'm also I can see this now being one of those shows that I like fall asleep to, or when I just am like working on homework. But the Zootopia is one of my favorite animated movies in the whole world. And I didn't even realize that there was going to be a series until today, but I'm excited for it because I love that movie. I love it.
You just called it boring though. It's going to be something I fall asleep to.
It's not boring.
Tiana. She was talking about Tiana.
Oh.
No, I'm talking about Zootopia.
Zootopia. Yeah, I mean, my bad. I thought you were okay. Gotcha.
I mean, I'm one of those people that like turns on cartoons sometimes to go to sleep and stuff like that. So this would probably be one of those cartoons.
Yeah, it's like a comforting, like feeling you go to sleep. Yeah, I get that.
Totally. Right. Not that it's boring. It's just one of those little comfort shows. So.
Ask you an episode review, you'd be like, I didn't watch. I fell asleep. I'm looking forward to both of those, but also Baymax. I really liked Big Hero 6. I'm looking forward to what they do with that. The Win or Lose, I think that, what was that? I could have sworn I put a description on here, but I think it said that was the first like long form animation they're doing. Let me double check that.
Oh, really?
Win or lose Disney. I think that was the first time for something.
Is this like just Disney or is this Pixar?
It might be Pixar. Yeah, it's the first ever original long form animated series for Disney Plus. Looking forward to that. Then we got Marvel. Looking forward to Moon Knight and Ironheart the most from that.
Yeah, that first look at Moon Knight. And then they said Ironheart's going to be introduced in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
I saw that too.
Oh, eat that! Hurry up, then drop that.
I can tell you what I'm not looking forward to. Did y'all see this trailer for Sneakerella?
Sneakerella?
Yes. So I was just scrolling through the thread, like, oh, what did they release? Because I wasn't able to watch any of it live. So I was like, okay, I'll just kind of catch up on the thread.
I don't think it was live. They were just like dropping stuff on Twitter.
They released like a little video, but everything was basically like live tweeted.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I caught up on the thread a little bit later that night, and I came across this trailer for Sneakerella, and it's essentially this guy who is supposed to be working in a shop. He's like in high school. He's supposed to be working in his family shop, but he just really likes sneakers and like making sneakers, and that's his passion. And he accidentally stumbles across the family of a famous sneaker creator. And so they're like, oh, make these sneakers. The sneakers were trash for some. They're so bad. They're so bad. The sneakers are awful. And it's just kind of like they could have done a little better for this poor guy.
No. They could have done a lot better. They just do anything.
Is he black?
Yes. Yes. It was like, that he
yeah, right.
Y'all know y'all did not have to do him dirty like that. The sneakers look so bad. And on top of that, the acting just looks horrible. But hopefully this guy gets his break and can move on to bigger and better things from it as like a springboard. But it does not look good.
Maybe it was CGI to mask the actual shoe look.
You need to pull a Sonic on that one.
No, somebody sat in that Disney studio and created that sneaker by hand. Like, we're gonna put this in the show.
They're gonna love this.
Also, cheaper by the dozen. What, 4 now? 3, 4.
Looks like a remake, right?
Yeah, I can't really tell if it's like supposed to be I don't want to call it a sequel because it's not that, but I can't tell if it's supposed to be continuing the story or just a complete remake. I love Cheaper by the Dozen. I love Steve Martin. Was actually just rewatching that movie with one of my roommates, and I just don't think it needs to be redone. I'm gonna watch it, but I just am not like really looking forward to it. It's one of those things that I think they could have just left well enough alone. So.
Well, they can't do that.
I'm definitely gonna watch. It's like Kisses Gabrielle Union, and then Homeboy from Scrubs.
I did not see that. Gabrielle Union did it?
Yeah, it's like an interracial couple and all their kids. So I'm gonna watch it. I mean, I'm same with you. I love the first two. They're so good. So, but I'm definitely gonna give it a chance.
Is Steve Martin coming back? I'm guessing no.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's like a whole new cast.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, now that you mentioned Gabrielle Union, I have to watch it. But
not happy with this.
Still not thrilled, but I'm definitely gonna watch it now.
We're talking about throwbacks. Step away from Disney real quick. Did y'all see the teaser for the Bel Air?
No, I didn't.
I didn't see the teaser now.
Stupid. And it makes it look even worse. He just falls into like a body of water, and he's just like, what does that have to do with Fresh Prince? That man was never in the water. So I'm very concerned for that series. Especially since it's going to be a Peacock original. I hate Peacock.
Yeah, same.
A Peacock original. That's weird since HBO Max owns all the rights to Fresh Prince.
Oh, they
unless
do?
that changed recently. But all the Fresh Prince and then the Fresh Prince reunion, it's on HBO Max. So that's weird that they own it.
Maybe because it's not the same series. Because I'm pretty sure they just called it Bel-Air. I don't think it's Fresh Prince or called.
Is Will Smith in it?
No.
Oh.
Like the whole new cast, like the remake.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's probably how they got away with it. Interesting. Anything else for Disney Plus Day? There's one more thing that I want to bring up. If not, but
well, it says
I got one little one. We have a Maya in the MCU now. They announced Echo. She's Native American, deaf superhero, and her name is Maya Lopez. So I'm excited. There's a Maya in the MCU.
You said this is for Disney Plus?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's for Echo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So much going on with Marvel. It's hard to keep up with, but I'm excited. There's a lot of
content.
They're branching out in a lot of ways, which I think is really cool.
Hawkeye drops tonight.
Yeah, well,
3 a.m.
tomorrow morning.
More the vibes.
You gonna be up? Y'all gonna be up?
I do. Nothing different. I did the same thing for Loki, WandaVision. I'm up until 3 a.m. watching it right as it drops.
Be on that too, but it's not sustainable. I get up early now. I'll get up early and watch it, but nah, I can't wait till 3 a.m.
No, I remember I texted Maya once at like 1:30, like, "Hey, what time does WandaVision come on?" She was like 3. I was like, "Okay." She sure was up too.
Yeah.
I'll be up. Anything else from news and trailers?
One last thing for me that I'm very excited about, actually, like very shortly before that we started this episode, Euphoria dropped their trailer, which I love the Euphoria series. I'm super excited. I'm a big fan of Zendaya. I know that, there's a lot of conversation about about her and her acting skills and things of that nature, but I love Zendaya. And I think that she absolutely killed it in season 1 of Euphoria. The little break episodes that they did, I wasn't a huge fan of those. I remember you saying you like really loved those episodes, but the trailer looks like it's going to be very chaotic, which is something that I'm very excited for. You do get like a little bit of a glimpse into where Root is now, and she's definitely still an addict. Because the season 1 kind of left off, and is she gonna get it back together? And then especially the break episodes, you really like left thinking, okay, things might look up for her. And then the trailer was like, no, not at all. So no, I'm very excited for season 2. Loved Euphoria, love Zendaya, and I can't remember when it said it's going to be coming back, but I'll definitely be tuned in.
All right, so we can go into our main part of the topic now. We'll be talking about King Richard. It's on HBO Max and in theaters. It's a movie about Serena and Venus Williams' father, and kind of them growing up and getting into tennis. So we'll go ahead and start with, what were your guys' overall thoughts on the movie?
I absolutely adored this movie. It was like, and it's weird because it's like, it was kind of slow, but it was, I don't know, it was so inspirational. Like, I feel like I was living in a moment in time. I mean, it was kind of just eerie. I mean, outside of Will Smith, like how they look, like 2 girls look just like Venus and Serena when they were that age. I'm like, this is freaky. But it was just good to know more about their story. And like, we'll probably get into it later. Like, I think it really resonated with me because I had very like, to the point where I felt like it's not helicopter parents, but I see a lot of the same similarities between my mom and Richard Williams. I always felt like she was really hard on me. And I'm like, oh wow, this is all coming full circle. Like there was a reason behind it. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I love this movie. It was very touching, inspirational, touching, like just to kind of see the real emphasis on family. I think Maya, a lot of the things that you said about your mom, you've met my mom as well. She's very similar in that aspect. But the casting that they did on this was amazing, especially with Venus and Serena, playing the younger them. And then even throughout the movie, it was just one of those things that I really couldn't look away from. And it's like, of course I know how this ends. Like they're tennis superstars, but it's like, no, I want to know exactly how all of this went. And it was a movie that was so easy to connect to, and really, I don't know, really tune in with the younger Venus and Serena and see exactly, what that journey looked like for them.
No crap, I cried at the end. A little bit. Just a little bit. I didn't cry, but like a little tear up.
I did tear up too when the paparazzi and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. I watched it like first thing in the morning too. Like I started at like 6 a.m. and it was like a perfect way to start the day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my question. So did you guys play any sports growing up or any type of competitions?
Volleyball basically all through my I quit my senior year of high school and then I track. So just those two mainly.
Yeah, I did track all through high school. And I did other sports like in the off season. So I did cross country one year. And then I quit track my senior year as well. I'm trying to do it. So
I mostly just played soccer. From like first grade up until as far as like competitively up until well, pretty much when I graduated. In high school I was the captain. So I was very competitive. My team was trash though. I did manage to make MVC, which is the Cincinnati league, all league first team. So I was carrying that team, but we were trash. Were you guys competitive?
Very much so.
No, actually.
Oh my God. I played volleyball all year round, so it was just like my mindset at that time, and all I cared about was like the team aspect. I was more of a team player than like a person that just wanted to win, but I did want to win a lot. I think I'm just naturally competitive in general, though, so it just expanded into sports.
Yeah, I feel like my freshman and sophomore year of high school, I was really there for the vibes. Like, I don't know exactly what compelled me to sign up for track and cross country outside of the fact that I did like to run and I like to sprint and all that. But I was just kind of chilling. And then my junior year, that's when a lot of the seniors who kind of like carried the team left. And so then my coaches were like looking at me like, hey, you should do hurdles because, long legs and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, maybe. So then I think that's when the competitive really started for me. Because then I was like, oh, like, this is cool. But I feel like freshman and sophomore year, I was more so just there to kind of have fun with it, especially with track. It's like, obviously you want to win, but I wasn't ever broken up about like not winning or anything like that, especially not as much as other people on my team. So.
I'm definitely competitive, and I still am. I really hated losing. I remember when we had lost a game, and it was like our rival team, and this girl I was talking to at the time, we were together or whatever. She got mad because I didn't text her on the bus. I'm like, I'm not trying to talk. We just lost. She got mad because she was older than me, and her friend they had like class together and stuff like that. So he texted her about some homework on the bus, whatever. She had texted me while I was like during the game, whatever, telling me like to text her back after the game. And I texted her back after the game because I was upset. But he texted her back, and then she called me. She was like, "You can't talk to me after the game," but he did. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, "Man, I don't care about none of this." We just lost.
Like we just lost.
I'll talk to you in Spanish tomorrow.
That's a very vivid memory.
I have really good memory. I'll never forget that. Just inconsiderate. I'm hurting.
No, like I definitely remember like for some meets, like especially I feel like I was definitely more competitive during relays for track because when it was just me, I was just like, it don't really matter. But when it's like when it's like a whole relay team and it's like, especially I ran the 4x4 and the 4x2, the 4x4 is the last relay, like the last event of the whole meet. And it's like everyone gets super hyped. Yeah, everyone's like super hyped for it. And so then it was just kind of like, oh, the pressure's on, like we gotta win type of thing. So like if we didn't win that, that's when I would be, a little torn up about it. But like for the individual stuff, I was just kind of like, this is fun. I'll just, run and see what happens. So run and see what happens.
That's how volleyball was a team sport. So we were like, and it was so reliant on other people too. So it's like everyone can have to just feed off of each other's competitive energy.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. We go to Dame Busters, I'm competitive. We go to Pins, I'm competitive. I have to win.
So cool about you.
I'm accepting all challenges, by the way, in mini golf. I'm good at that.
I forget that you scored it.
I'm good at golf. I hate golf.
I'm not good at mini golf.
I hate golf in general.
I'm trying to dominate in snowboarding next. 'Tis the season.
Okay.
Next question. Did you ever feel overly pressured by your parents to succeed in something? So that can be sports, academics, whatever.
Absolutely. I mean, especially it was more so grade. It was everything, honestly. My parents had such high standards. And so like, and especially like girls, my brother, he had it, I feel like he had it so easy, but like me and Mike, it was just like a microscope on everything we did. And I just always felt like this looming feeling of like being a disappointment was always like my biggest fear. And so I'm like, unpacking that and as an adult and stuff, but yeah, felt a lot of just to perform in general because my parents, they like did a lot because they didn't have the same opportunity. So they're like, we're giving you opportunities we didn't have. And it's like, you feel you have to make, like, you feel like you have to do everything right. So yeah, I definitely felt pressured.
No, I would definitely agree. I will say that my pressure was more so on the academic side than extracurriculars per se. My parents' thing was more so like if you say you're going to do something, then you're going to do it as far as like the extracurricular thing. So like quitting activities or sports or anything of that nature just wasn't really in the conversation until the season was over. But as far as like academics went, that's the one thing that I really knew that like my parents like did not really play about at all as far as grades. And it really got to the point where, I mean, kind of like you, Maya, I'm like kind of unpacking that as an adult too, because it's one of those things where, when you're told that you have to get X amount of grades or you're going to be like, they're going to be so disappointed in you or you're going to get in trouble and things of that nature, that definitely follows you into your adult life as you're trying to figure out what the balance is. And I've almost seen it in grad school too. And I guess, a little bit of a secret about business school is that people say that your grades don't matter at all because, you're under grade non-disclosure and you can't tell companies or other students or anyone your grades. But it's such a hard tether to break, like people say that like business school is about the experience and what you actually learn and get out of it, but I'm still very much so tied to my parents' ideals of, if I don't get an A or a B, then like, what am I doing with my life? What is the point of me being in school if I don't have good grades? And so that's like one of those things that I've had to definitely kind of take a step back on being in grad school now, and work through as an adult too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I definitely agree on both places with the academics. Y'all both touched on all those points really well. But like that tweet you kind of sent me before we got on here about wishing that they did with the sports, that would happen to me. I'm out here hooping. I'm feel right now. Other than on a podcast, but I do wish I kind of had was more competitive in sports. Definitely from that watching that movie, I'm like, dang, is it too late for me to hit the league? I'm gonna run some laps right now.
Yeah.
give me a trial somewhere. I'm gonna start hooping.
It's also like definitely interesting, kind of the gender and birth order dynamics of it too. Because it's very interesting that I think it definitely has a lot to do with the gender aspect of it, because your brother is older, but you and your sister are the girls in the family, whereas for me, I'm older and the girl in my family. So it's like just kind of looking at my brother and sister and the things that they were able to get away with, and the things that my parents were like, oh, we were never that hard on you for that, like you're misremembering. And it's like, no, I'm not, like that's not how that happened.
Black moms tend to cuddle their Black sons, so
yes,
I was gonna talk to my mom about it. She was not receptive. But
been there.
I'm the only child, so I just got everything.
Really?
Yeah, you do.
How do you feel about his decision? Okay, spoiler alert. I mean, that's not a spoiler, it's a documentary, so if you know her life, but if you haven't seen the movie, you don't know this part, I guess spoiler alert. But how do you feel about his decision to make her wait some years and drop juniors to focus on academics and just like being a kid?
I feel like I didn't know enough about it because I'm not in the tennis circuit. Because I mean, well, if it was about being a kid, I get it. And they said the juniors league was just so under her skill level anyway. But I know he wanted to focus on them being kids, which I really appreciated, because I feel like in like the scene where he was showing Capriati, the other tennis girl, I would love to see her watch the movie, like from her perspective, like she accurate, but like seeing how she like ended up like she's smoking weed and things. They try to make it seem like she was so rebellious because she was so burnt out. I think him like being able to plan that and like basically mold their career so they weren't getting burned out was really great. Parenting and coaching.
Yeah. No, I would totally agree. I think that it's one of those things that when you're watching it, I don't know. My parents were very strict growing up. So when I was watching it, I was like, oh my God, triggered. Like, I feel like it was one of those things where I kind of reflected back on all the times where my parents just said I couldn't do something or I had to do something, and they never really gave me a reason why. I just felt like that was the decision that they were making. But I also am trying to be hyper aware of the fact that I'm not watching this from a parent's perspective, because I'm not a parent, nor do I have children. And I mean, in a way, it makes sense as far as, wanting her to be a kid and wanting her to focus on her grades, and especially in an area of life that's so uncertain with sports. You don't know if you're going to make it or not. Like it's very much so based on skill, but also being in the right place at the right time and getting in front of the right people and things of that nature. And I think that that's definitely something that he was very aware of, and ultimately was looking out for her in the sense that, there is a chance that we both fail and you do not make it. So what is your plan? We can't put all of our chips in this basket, because if you don't make it, you can't be out here uneducated and not knowing what it is that you want to do. So
yeah, snaps fingers.
I agree. And then also I mean, at first I didn't I was like, dang, like you said, I'm not really triggered, but I was like, dang, I want to see her hoop. But then once they did mention the line of, kind of protecting her, I did like that how they put the news report where Cap right where she was just like burned out and she was just like reverted, it's like started going to drugs. Cause I mean, we see that with like child actors too, like they just kind of lose it. I guess that was nice to see that, having like, I guess their father like looking out for them in that way, to kind of set them up even more for success and not just like in tennis.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring up child actors because I think that obviously child actors are still a thing, but now there's a whole different dynamic of child influencers, like the child TikTokers, and obviously the parents are the ones that are behind the camera and they're like, okay, we're getting these endorsements, like go ahead and make the video type of thing. And it's one of those things that I can't help. Obviously the kids, they always look very happy in the videos, and I'm no one to say that they're not happy, but it's one of those things that I always wonder, is it something that they want to be doing, or is it something that a video got y'all famous and now we're just going to keep it up because it's bringing money type of thing. But that's just an interesting dynamic that I'll be interested to kind of see how it plays out. Obviously we won't know for many years to come, but yeah.
There's a show called Girl from Nowhere. In the second season, they have an episode about that where like the parents have this girl that she's like famous on YouTube and stuff like that, and they just kind of like keep pushing her. She doesn't want to do it anymore, and so they just keep making her do it though.
Yes.
I honestly don't think that's uncommon.
That's how I feel about Diddy's twins. I'm like, you're really forcing them to try to act like they have like this whole like twin weird, like everything is the exact same. I'm like, someone is forcing them to do this because
Who is this?
Diddy's twins. Twins. I'm just like, oh my god, like they're trying to force them to be like this. Oh, we're twins, like Brandy is twins. Excuse me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, please get them out of this influencer light and let them be their own person.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, I mean, even I don't know if I can't think of the name of the TikToker, but she has it's two of them. They have a documentary on Hulu. My roommate was watching it and I kind of like walked in and just kind of was watching too. But these girls are like 15, 16 and are really struggling. Like, because they're TikTok influencers, but they feel like they can't stop.
The D'Amelios?
Maybe, yeah, it might be them.
They're two sisters. I think they do have a show.
Yeah. They're really struggling. 15, 16 years old. They feel like they can't stop because, it's what's bringing a lot of money to them and their family. Literally waking up every day with anxiety, like depression, like literally like shaking to get on TikTok because of all the different comments that they're getting, but they have to keep doing it. So it'll definitely be an interesting. I know it's not sports related, but it's what a lot of kids are into these days. So
yeah, I just watched one of my favorite YouTubers. He had made a video about it a couple months ago, and he's like a massive like UK YouTuber. But he just kind of started off. They were him and his friends were making like gaming videos, and then they just kind of got big, and now they have like this little group, and they're like one of the biggest groups in the UK. I think they're one of the biggest YouTuber groups just overall too. He just talked about how he got like depressed because he was like, you have to like you cannot stop, like you have to keep doing it every day. You always have to come up with like new stuff. So content creation is one of the it seems easy, but it's really not, because especially like entertainment industry, especially with streaming and everything like that, people consume stuff so fast. You have to always like keep yourself relevant. So I always have to be thinking something new ideas and stuff like that. Like it's exhausting.
That's why I wonder for he said he had this plan for their life. I wonder how much agency they had over, like, what if they wanted to play softball? Like, I'm curious to know. We never saw really any, everything was under the lens of, okay, they just wanted to do it. And their dad made this vision and they just kind of saw it through. but I'm curious to know like how much pressure, like in a perfect world, it's like, okay, if they say they're like tennis, you just put all your resources to there. But I'm curious on how much pressure he did put outside of just the performance piece, but like different activities he would see them being involved in. I'm curious about that.
Yeah, I mean, even throughout the film when they were, practicing late at night or in the rain and stuff like that, um, if I was a kid, I'd be like, I'm not doing this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do this. And so it was definitely put under the lens of, I love tennis and that's what I'll do to be successful. But it would have been, I think, that much more valuable if it would have shown that, there were some times where they probably were just kind of like, I'm not trying to do this anymore, but
Right.
stuck it through and ultimately saw the success that way. So,
Right.
Yeah, sure. All right. How do you feel about the performances, especially with award season gonna come up fast? Thinking if I can snag one.
I think Will get his first one with this one. I'm trying to think of the other. I can't think of the other like best actor nominees so far. Like, but I definitely think he would be a top contender. Well, I'm sure we're going to talk about favorite scenes after it, but he did one hell of a job. And I feel like I always have this with like this range debate with Will Smith. I'm like, I don't think he has range. I feel like this movie made me feel like he had way more range than I've ever seen him use. Because Concussion was more of like a dramatic role. Ali was more of a dramatic role. But we didn't really see him like, I don't know. I guess it was different than those other movies to me. I felt like the acting, I was able to think of, okay, this is Richard Williams rather than this is Will Smith. So I think he did an incredible job. Those little girls did amazing too. And the mom,
yes.
Yeah, that's what I
who
was
was Hippolyta from Lovecraft,
Mhm.
I'm like, she did an amazing job too. She's an amazing actress.
Yeah.
Everything she does, I'm like, I usually love. So I think everyone did a great job.
Yeah.
And Fitz from Scandal was the
Yes, I was about to bring him up.
I'm like, okay, Fitz.
I also thought this isn't really speaking to acting, but I might have missed this in the story, but they dropped Fitz because Fitz was like, we want them to compete. And they didn't want to compete. And so they went to another coach who said the same thing, and then they competed.
Yeah.
So they kind of got rid of Fitz for no reason? Or
well, remember once they got the deal, they were able to relocate them. It was only almost like a major sponsoring their training. And then not until they got there did he say, "Oh yeah, she's not competing in juniors." So he kind of flipped the script on because he wanted him to compete in juniors too, but then he kind of went against it.
Right. Okay.
That was just like a bigger coach with more money since he owned like that whole like property. Whatever. I just figured like he just switched that. He just wanted to get somebody with a lot more money.
That's crazy that this man had enough money to freaking move a whole family, house them in this big house. Like, what type of tennis money is that? Like, I said, if you had a few, like 15% of your future earnings, I guess that's a lot if you have like a lot of star players. Because I'm sure there's endorsements and everything. But I'm like, I didn't realize it was that much money in tennis.
No, Richard would have blamed me because I would have been like, now look, I'm paying for all this stuff and you don't want to compete in a tournament? Like, no, we're going to have to figure something out because you're not putting any money in my pocket right now.
What about favorite scenes? You're on mute.
I tweeted this. I can literally see for like when February comes around, Oscars, they're reading Best Actor nominees. You know, they show that little clip before they move on to the next candidate. It's that scene where he's talking about his father when he was like, "Why are you so hard on me?" I forget if he's talking to Serena or Venus. And he's talking about how his dad, he got beat up by the white guys, and his dad like ran away. I was like tearing up in that scene. I'm like, and the way he like delivered that dialogue, I'm like, oh my god, give him an Oscar. So I feel like that scene for sure was the most powerful one because I'm like, man, that's crazy. Serena is 40 years old, and her dad had run-ins with the Klan. Like, sometimes you forget like that age dynamic. Like, and he's still alive. That's crazy to me. But I really like that specific scene when they were talking.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go.
What did you say?
Yeah, you can go.
I really liked the dialogue between Richard and what's the wife's name? I don't want to call her the wife. What was her name?
Or Reeds or something like that. So
yes. I liked that initial, or not the initial, but that argument. I really liked all of the different interactions that she had within the movie because I feel like it very well could have gone the direction where she was just kind of like went along with everything that he said. But I really liked that she was a little bit of this driving force in the family that pushed back on a lot of what it is that he had to say. I specifically liked the scene about the when they had that argument and they had dropped, I think it was after they dropped the coach and said that she wasn't competing in tournaments, and Venus was really upset about that. I really like that dialogue between them, and it was one of those things that, you know, women put up with a lot of stuff because she was just kind of like, if you think I'm staying for you, you have it wrong. And it was one of those things that just kind of like made me reflect a little bit. I think that scene was delivered really well. And then also the scene with the Nike rep was one of my favorites because she was a kid and she was just kind of like, I feel it. I feel it in my heart that like, this is not something that I want to go after. And, you know, watching it, you're like, girl, that's $3 million. And then you're like, oh, that's $4 million. And then once the end credits rolled, what was it, $18 million from Reebok. And it was just, right. It was just one of those moments for me that was like, you know, looking at that scene, it's just kind of like, you are crazy. Like, you literally aren't making much of anything. And he's offering you 3 million, but just like that inner voice that's like, no, I think I'm worth more than that. You just have to see me play type of thing. I really liked how they delivered that too.
I like the scene when he was they were doing the interview of her, and he asked her like twice, like, why did she think she could beat that girl? And then kind of Will interjected and was like, she's a little girl, like, don't try to take her confidence away from her like that. I really liked that scene. That was my favorite scene. And then I liked all the when they were doing the juniors and they would show like the parents, like the white parents get mad.
Yeah.
She was just being that, and she was kind of like unfazed. She was just like, normal day in the office, you know. Right. So those are my favorite two parts. On top of what y'all said,
I couldn't help but wish they would go into why she wore the beads, because when she walked out on that court with the beads, I'm like, oh yeah. But I wish we would have got like why, because at that point, you know, they were, you know, had like just braided like just styles that weren't like didn't look that great. Wore the same styles as a kid. And then like she had all beads and a tennis match. Like I'm like, I just would like to know, because I remember the Bobby Brown like documentary or docu-series, they had it where there was when he had the asymmetrical cut, it was actually because a barber accidentally cut it off. And I just like those little details, and then like that's a whole iconic hairstyle. And she has like this super iconic hairstyle. So I would have liked to see like her decision to wear the beads. I'm sure I can find it somewhere on the internet though. But that would have been nice.
Also, I don't know why it did not occur to me throughout the whole movie that like as he was videotaping in real life, and that those videos would come back. I loved that they went and showed the actual videos that Richard was taking. Especially the one where Venus was like, I want people to play like me, when the guy was like, well, who do you want to be like? And he was like, well, I just want people to be like me. Like, I thought that was so dope that they put that in there and like had access to those videos too.
Yeah, I thought when they were like shooting it at first, like when he was at the first guy, the first coach's tendencies, I thought they were just adding that, and then so that was not a surprise for the credits of the videos. Also, but going back to that one scene when Will was, I think it was like the second session when he was like arguing with them. I was like, all right,
yeah.
Annoying. I'm like, man, if you don't sit down somewhere,
I know. I'm like, oh my god, sit down.
Yeah.
But what have y'all read about some of the controversy surrounding the movie?
No.
I saw a white woman get on Twitter and be like, why is this about King Richard? Or why is this about the dad? And we were just kind of like, you're in Black people's business.
Exactly. With Black father showing how he was able to instill I saw that.
Yeah, I was like, okay, ignoring that. But I didn't see anything else though.
So I guess because I didn't realize this man had a whole family that he had.
Yes.
And so seeing one of the girl, their half sister, talking about he was like, he could die and I would not go to his funeral. He's like, I thought this movie was a comedy. And it was weird too, because they touched on so was he having kids out of wedlock? He would just having kids? Yes. But no, he had a whole, he has 3 or 4 kids before Venus and Serena.
Because remember when they were in the kitchen arguing, she was like, you think I'm staying for you? Your son came and knocked on the door, and then boom, it was all these daughters, and then boom, it was just this whole family. It didn't really clarify where was she cheating, or was he cheating on her? Was this just prior kids that she just didn't know about?
It was prior kids.
Yeah.
And did you know Tundi? She passed away. She was killed.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, their older sister, the one that they showed, she was being harassed by the guys in the neighborhood. Yeah, she ended up being I think if I remember this correctly, reading an article was it was a shootout or something, and it was in a rough part, a neighborhood, and she got killed.
Yeah, I did not see that at all. I liked that that was probably why there was a little bit more focus on her. I feel like the other 2 sisters, this is bad, but I couldn't really tell you their names. But I feel like for Tundi, there was a lot of focus on what she accomplished in valedictorian, and a little bit more of her story was worked in than the younger, or maybe they're the middle 2 sisters too.
For sure. So it was cool to see the real world going back to the real world and seeing how things, but I mean, beautiful movie. Through and through. And I get some people if you're gonna tell a story, tell it all. But I mean the focus is just how he was able to envision this better life, have this plan and see it through. And I don't blame the movie for wanting to just focus on that. But I bet, I mean, if I was his other child, I could see how that could be cringe. You're doing all this and you walked out on 4 kids or 3 kids, however many.
Yeah, that was one part of their story that I did not know about actually at all. So until the movie.
Any more thoughts or comments on King Richard?
Gets a nomination.
All right, so again, you can find that in theaters or on HBO Max if you guys have subscribed. Highly recommend. It's a great movie, great feel-good movie. And so I guess next we'll get into what are you watching next? What's on your list?
Hawkeye, talked about earlier. Watching that tomorrow morning. I'm a little nervous because they, one of the people, he had an early screening of the first 2 episodes, and they said it's feeling very Disney Channel, which I'm kind of sad about. But I said it was like more like a Disney Channel original rather than like a Falcon the Winter Soldier. But I'm not gonna let that, gonna try not to let that affect my perception. And then I started Hit Monkey, and I'm like, why does it sound like Ted Lasso? It's the same actor. I haven't been watching much though. So those are only two things that I've been watching, or that I will continue to watch.
Yeah. What's on my list? I want to start the Sex Lives of College Girls on HBO Max. I've heard I've heard good things about it. It's one. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna size it. I've heard good things about it. So far, but I don't know. I watched the trailer. It seems a little interesting. Get a little nostalgia going. My college days, I guess. But no, not at all. But no, I'm excited to watch that. And then
I was kind of salty. They didn't have a new episode this weekend. And then I seen, I guess they're gonna have 2 this weekend. I'm like, this is weird.
I totally forgot I watched that. I watched both episodes.
Oh, it's coming out on a week-by-week basis?
Yeah. So I think only 2 are out right now.
They dropped 2 last week. I think 2 come out, might be tonight actually. Tonight or tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I want to watch that, and then I also want to start the new season of Tiger King. I still haven't watched that. It keeps coming up on like my spotlight, so I'm like, okay, I need to watch it so it'll go away.
What about you, Ian?
I got a lot. I just watched Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. I can remember. Did I say that at the beginning, or was that before? I think that was before.
I remember.
If you've seen Resident Evil, if you played Resident Evil 2 or in Resident Evil, the games, it's the exact same thing. So I definitely like it more than the original movies because it is kind of like familiar, but I feel like it's very nostalgia driven. Like I liked it because it was, the games, and I'm like, oh, this is the same thing. This is that level and everything like that. But other than that, it's very okay. It didn't need to be in theaters. They could just do that on Netflix. And then the CGI I could remember better. The cast was cool. I really liked the cast. Like the cast and acting was actually like pretty solid, which I was surprised about. So I hope they do better in the sequel. And then the third ending, which is the third act, which is like non-existent. There was like no struggle. They were just like, pew, okay. I was like, this was pointless. Yeah, I was like, that final boss literally took me like 2 days to beat. So that was cool. Sex Lives of College Girls, Yellow Jackets. I really like that show. It's only 2 episodes in, but I really, really like it.
Is that on HBO?
On Showtime.
Oh, Showtime.
The first episode is on Prime Video though.
Okay.
If you want to get like a little taste of it. I'm starting Dr. Brain. I finished Hit Monkey. I really like that. I'm gonna watch The Shrink Next Door. I'm debating Tiger King season 2. I'm not that bored.
The plot thickens. I heard there's so much more drama. I definitely will watch it eventually.
Yeah, I love the drama.
Last year, because that was the pandemic started show. It was like, I got nothing but time now.
Right.
So I'm going to tap in and see what everybody's talking about. And I was like,
I can actually be doing other things,
be productive. I can actually go do other things. So I haven't decided on that yet. Powers. Why did I put Netflix for that? Oh, I put Stars. Power season 2 started. I don't know if y'all watched that.
Yes. No, I haven't watched the new episode yet. But definitely tuning into it.
I did not like the first episode. I just did not care for it. I was like, y'all ain't doing nothing. This is a filler. Whole lot of just running around. He still don't got no car, but just still getting stuff everywhere and magic.
Right. He began from Harlem to deep Brooklyn in like 5 minutes. I'm like, how?
The Mike Myers walk.
I'd be like, I got an hour to get from here to Brooklyn, and then I got to get back. And it's like that's not happening in any world in New York. But okay.
I want them to think things through more too. They just be killing people. They just get a little mad and be like, "I'm gonna kill you." And it's like very, very what's her name from you?
Love.
Yeah, Love.
Is Auntie Mary back?
Yeah, and she still looks great.
Love that for her.
I actually hate her character though. I
like me too, but you know,
very annoying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start watching her scenes on mute. Yeah, Hawkeye tonight. I think that Bruce movie with Halle Berry comes out this week.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna watch that then.
I think that might drop tomorrow too, actually, or Thursday. I have very low expectations, and then House of Gucci. I think I'm gonna see that this weekend.
Yes, yeah, I'm excited for that one too.
Yes, Lady Gaga. I can just feel the best actress brewing for that.
Definitely brewing, yeah. Well, go ahead.
I have low expectations for it. I don't know.
You have low expectations?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be a good movie, but it's a movie that I just don't personally care about. I don't even care about Gucci in general.
That's real.
But it's like the scandal. Like, have you seen like American Hustler? Like just the idea of just like so many parties and players and I don't know, like you have to smooch this person to get to this, and like how people are like you're hustling to get what they want. I don't know. I kind of like stuff like that. Like
I don't know. Everything's a scam. It's all
well, before we wrap, do you guys want to talk about Insecure, the last 2 episodes that we haven't talked about yet?
Yes.
Are you all caught up? Are you caught up?
Caught up.
Okay. Well, you don't seem very happy. So we'll start with episode 4. That's the one we talked about. Episode 3 last time. Episode 4 is a little bit of a review. It was Nathan's birthday. And there was a big party for Nathan. It started on the beach and ended up at like a bar. The mic can't hear you yet, so whatever you're saying. It was called Faulty Okay. And yeah, what were your thoughts on that episode before we go into episode 5?
It was awkward because that was coming off of her like crying while about to have sex with him. Mm-hmm. So like that encounter was cool. I feel like I love Nathan, but I feel like his story's a little like how they try to, I'm like, what is going on between, okay, this is your cousin or your, I don't know, family member of some sort and his wife, she was being really shady. I'm like, what's going on? And then I almost forget about all the mental health stuff he was going with. So, but sometimes for me to connect the dots, I feel like it wasn't as clear. Mm-hmm. But I really like that episode. Just like, I just love how it just shows communication can do so much. Like those scenes like where they're just getting everything out and like talking through their feelings. It's just so healthy. And I really liked it. And I'm blanking honestly what else happened in that episode other than like the party not happening, party getting moved to the bar.
Yeah, the mental health aspect. At first, honestly, I'm glad that they kind of clarified what happened with the wife, because my first thought was, okay, Nathan must have had sex with this lady.
Yeah, that's what
because she was just acting real weird and like, you know, like when you are just kind of like, you know, also like, you know, I don't know what's going on here, but that was my first assumption. I'm glad they kind of cleared it up, but it was one of those things that I don't know. I feel like the friend was very shitty for that.
Yeah.
Like blaming it on his wife, and I don't know.
I feel like he didn't add up because she was also acting weird. Like,
and I don't think he told her that he was manic at the time. Like, I feel like he didn't go back and clear, like, tell them why he was acting that way. So they just thought, oh, crazy Nathan. At least that's how I interpreted it. Like,
Yeah,
he probably
exactly.
didn't give them the context after the fact.
Right. And I think she was acting weird because she knew that her husband had gone to Nathan and been like, yeah, my wife wants you out, type of thing.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's why she was acting a little weird. So I'm like, okay, well, it's probably bad blood or hurt feelings, and we never really had a conversation about it. I think that's maybe why she was acting a little weird, but it's one of those things that's like the list of things that you can blame on your significant other. I don't think that falls on the list. Like, if it's like a matter of like the safety of your family and your kids, that's something that I think requires very open communication, and for you to just say, as far as like things you can blame on your significant other, I don't want to go out, but I'm gonna tell you I'm not going out because my significant other doesn't want me to go out. Like that kind of thing, fine, whatever. But like something as big as this, I don't know if that's, I think he was kind of shitty for putting that on her.
Yeah, for sure.
Wasn't the end of that episode when they were like on the hill, whatever, looking out over the city, and then that's all when it kind of told like they like each other, or whatever.
Yeah,
I hate that part.
I love that part. I
hate that part because he's literally going through, and she's just like, "Man, ain't gonna fight your feelings." Like, yeah, he's just, I'm trying to kiss. Like, what? He's literally going through family struggle right now.
Yeah, I'm a tad insensitive. Just a tad. But I feel like
Issa is not a good person, man.
During our last episode, I literally said, I'm starting to like Issa and Nathan. And would you look at that? Like, I like them together. Their energy is just, it works. When they communicate, it works.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Awkward.
I mean, that's why I said when they communicate, because all the awkward situations have been them just not talking about anything, him getting up and leaving, she just crying with no explanation, like they both just avoiding each other, like all that of course is gonna make it awkward. But like Maya said, when they finally put everything out on the table, it was like perfect synergies. So I'm a fan.
Especially this last episode.
Yes. Okay. So
let's skip to this because that's how she gonna talk about. We're gonna take it slow, and then it's gonna come.
Okay. Episode 5 was called "Say My Name." This is the episode where Molly gets a call about her mom, who ends up in the hospital after her stroke, and Issa and Nathan are kind of navigating their new positions in each other's lives. So, what did y'all think about this episode?
Like, Kerry Washington directed this. I'm like,
oh really?
I think she directed like one of my favorite episodes from last season too.
The red and blue. The red and blue one. Yes,
so good.
Such a good episode.
Excuse me. I liked it. I mean, it was like comedic bit. I'm like, about like Molly and her family. They ended up saying it was like the other like mother that was like on her deathbed. I was like, that kind of was like fucked up to me. Like, but I'm sure that's other people. But I get it. That's supposed to be comedic relief. But I mean, I liked it too because I feel like last season we saw a lot of Molly not feeling like Issa was there for her and like vice versa. And so like for them to be able to be like, okay, Issa was there, she was able to be there when she needed to help her, but it not seem like overbearing and unrealistic expectations. I really liked how they showed like where their relationship is now in terms of their like dynamic, because I feel like Molly was always putting unrealistic expectations on Issa. So I like that. Oh my gosh, the dog scene. It was so funny because Bria, I lost Anne's dog.
Like, why did I think about that? I literally thought about that when I was watching that season or watching that episode.
I was thinking because I'm over here, you're over here walking all slow with Nathan.
Yeah.
If I lost my friends, I'm in the bushes, like with the flashlight, everything. In these busy LA streets, I was so irritated. I'm like,
they just sat down. They just gave up, sat down on the bench, like, all right, what are we gonna do now?
I came back. I'm like, all these cars. I'm like, you can't be serious.
Right.
But I was thinking about it a little too much. And then like Nathan being like, oh, is that your mom was like, is that your boyfriend? He's like, yeah. I'm like,
I would
that
have
energy.
died. I would have died.
But that is, yeah.
I mean, it's like, it was definitely cute. I liked it was cute. He claimed her or whatever, but like, we did not talk about this. Like, slow down. We did not talk about this. And it just happened extremely fast. Like, was this supposed to be the next day after the birthday party? I
don't know.
Surely not.
Okay, maybe that's like why I watched the 2 episodes back to back. Well, the day one day after the other, because I was a little late watching the last one. But so maybe that's why like my time perception was a little bit off there. But I was like, this is extremely fast. Do y'all think it's gonna work?
I hope not.
I just don't know what the date, like, I don't know where, like, in terms of conclusion for this whole series, like, I don't know. It's going to be weird because I'm like, are they going to try to make Issa and Lawrence work? But I feel like that would be too forced. We don't have as much time in the season left. So I don't know.
A month left. So that's like 4 episodes.
Yeah, 4 episodes. Yeah, I feel like they're gonna probably have them work out.
Yeah.
Hope not.
Okay, Anna, do you unbiasedly think that they're going to work?
No.
Like, what is your prediction rather than what you want?
I think he's gonna go
You just want Issa to be miserable and lonely.
Yes, he's a cheater.
Oh my
gosh. I think that I don't know. I would say that I think she's going to end up with Nathan or alone. But then they introduced Lawrence back in just that quick. You can never get rid of him. as soon as I gave up on my dream of them getting together, here he comes around the corner at the hospital. But I think that Issa, I don't think she really likes Nathan. I think that they have really good energy, and I can't really put my finger on it, or I can't really like explain it how I want to, but I think that Issa enjoys like
Lawrence,
the thrill of the pursuit type of thing. Like when you meet someone new for the first time and it's like butterflies and oh my gosh, this could work, and we're hanging out and like dates are fun and like all of that type of stuff. But I feel like as soon as things start to get into the group for Issa, she's gonna be like, all right, let me see what Lawrence over here is talking about. So I think that she likes kind of the thrill beginning stage and everything, but
once the honeymoon phase is gone,
yeah, maybe that's what I'm trying to say. But right now I'm a big fan of Nathan and Issa. I'm a little indecisive what I want for Issa. I kind of gave up on my Lawrence dream because, taking care of a newborn, that doesn't sound very fun. It sounds like a lot of headaches and things, but I'm also not opposed to Issa just ending up alone either because, after all these seasons, what better reward than just having yourself, I don't know. So,
and now that like after you mentioned it, like I could see a potential conclusion being, hey, like her coming, because it's like basically she wasn't trying to, like a kid was a lot with her, so maybe it's like her coming to terms that she's still in love with Lawrence, and like maybe that last scene is her like playing with the baby or something, like her being open to it. Because I definitely see what you mean about the Nathan thing, because like it's like the chemistry is good, like in terms of the dialogue, but it was nothing like that scene, like the few scenes with Lawrence when they were briefly back together.
Right. Yeah. So, very different. So
I don't want that for her. the whole baby thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But
Going into like the step parent thing, I wouldn't mind. Maybe they go through like with Nathan, maybe like 1 or 2 episodes. She kind of like it's past honeymoon stage, and then she kind of like starts thinking like this isn't like all I want and everything like that, or like she's like settling. She like feels bad, whatever. Leaves him. And then last episode, like they just introduced somebody new, and it's like a cliffhanger or whatever. But like,
oh, that'd be crazy.
It's like a new character, and then like she's just with him, and then you just kind of assume that works out. I'd rather than do that than like settle for Nathan or like just be a stepfather. I feel like that'd be a more powerful thing. Like you don't have to really settle for anything, whether like even if it's kids or like something like that. Because there's other people, and anybody can come in your life at any point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we only got this was episode 5, so like 5 episodes left. I don't know. What did you say?
It's supposed to end the day after Christmas.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that's coming up. I'm excited to see how it plays out, but it's also coming to an end, so that'll obviously be very sad. I don't know. I feel like it was just such an impactful series, and I think it's one of those series that it's time for it to end. You know, there's not really much more they can do with it. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how it wraps.
I do appreciate them for ending it and not dragging it out.
Yeah.
You got that massive deal, so we get more content from her.
Right. Yeah.
Including a series with my guy Mark Phillips and RDC World. I can't wait for that.
What was it called?
With Michael B. Jordan too.
RDC World. I'm sure you know who it is. Mark Phillips. They make a lot of like, like the Popeyes video.
Oh.
They have a HBO Max, and then one of their HBO Max deals is with her.
Okay.
Or like projects is with her.
Very cool. Yeah. Big fan of Issa. You know, I'm glad that they're not dragging it, because I think that's knowing when to end a series is a very important part of being a creator for a series. Yeah. So I'm glad that they know. I also forgot that Issa and Nathan had sex in the Ferris wheel, like the second time they met. They brought that up in an episode, and I was like, that did happen, didn't it? I was like, all right. But
at her big age.
Facts though. Because girl, what? But yeah, okay. Anything else about Insecure?
Lawrence High, we feast this weekend. Yet again. You know the vibes.
I seem to be feast alone. But all right. Well, what'd you say?
That you're all haters. I actually had a whole argument with this group this morning about Insecure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was it about?
Well, it's the usual, the basics. You know, why Lawrence is better. You know what I'm saying? He's just a terrible person. She's a cheater. Pretty much like season 1 through 3 stuff.
Okay. Back to the basics.
Except that most people have let go by now. Gotcha.
5 years later, huh? Okay. Well, if there's nothing else that you all want to discuss, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the Bingeverse. Be sure to follow us on all our social medias. We're on Twitter, on Instagram at the Bingeverse, or on YouTube as well. Anything else anyone wants to add before we sign off?
Happy holidays. I'm accepting, if you're in the Ohio area, I'm accepting any and all plates. Not say any. All season. Anything that's unseasoned. No green casserole for me.
Yes, enjoy the holidays. Have so much fun with your families. Reflect on what you're thankful for, because after the roller coaster of a year this has been, we all need to take a step back and think about that kind of stuff. So have happy holidays, and we will see you next time. Bye. All right, stop recording.